So a resident wrote in asking how many police officers do we have now, and how are they ensuring safety in our community during non-emergency calls? Chief?
Well, we're budgeted for 45 officers. We currently are at 43. We have one recruit in the police academy. He should be graduating May. And today I interviewed a young lady who's in the final steps of being hired. So that'll bring us to 45. But we just lost another officer to retirement. So we're down, in the scheme of things, we're down one officer. But we're the closest we've been to being fully staffed that I can remember in a long time. As far as what they do to protect the community, our officers patrol. And they observe suspicious incidents, suspicious people, suspicious cars. They stop, they talk to the individuals, they stop the cars, run the license tags. A great benefit to us is our automatic license plate reader on the incoming bridge. Just yesterday, it caught a stolen car out of Doral. Our officer stopped the car out on 36th Street and made the arrest. So things like that. Our community helping us by helping themselves, as we talked about earlier, locking their cars, making sure their homes are secure, the lights are on, and our officers proactively patrolling when they're not on calls for service.
And like I always say, actually, that segues almost into another question somebody asked. The question was, does the city have a community crime watch? And how can they assist as a resident? Which is perfect because the police do as much as we can. We patrol, we stop suspicious people, suspicious cars, the great LPR reader, which advises of a stolen vehicle or a wanted person. But who knows your community better than you, better than your block? You know what is normal for your block, what is not. The officers, even though we work here, all the time, we know the city as a whole, but you know your block better than anybody. So if you see something suspicious, or your neighbor told you they're out of town, yet you see activity in their home, we always say, and as a crime prevention officer, I always say, I'd rather you call.
Absolutely.
The officers go. Maybe it's not nothing. Okay, nothing lost. But say you do call, the officers go and investigate, and it turns out something. So we might have prevented something or stopped something in its tracks before they break into that house, the next one. So your eyes are the most important. And for the Crime Watch, you can call Community Policing Office, again, 305-888-5286. Tell us you're interested in a Crime Watch program. However, this is a community-based program. The block is the responsible one. So we'll give you the information, you talk to your neighbors, you get about small amount, 30% of your neighbors on that block interested. Once you have that, you call us, myself, or Officer Capote will set up a meeting with you. You tell us where location you're going to have it, whose house. We'll come up with a time and a date. We'll come out, give a presentation about crime prevention, safety, all this. And then you'll have a telephone chain we share with your neighbors, and then it's up to the community, the neighborhood, to keep up the Crime Watch. But it's very important nowadays. You don't even have to make phone calls. Everything can be electronic, text messages, emails. We have 2 very active Crime Watch blocks, and they've just the squeaky wheel. They've got things done, and the best thing is eyes that know what's right and wrong in the neighborhood. So
if I could jump in on that, community involvement and assisting us is essential. And what may seem innocuous or maybe it's not a big deal has led us to make some very good arrests. It's hard to say how much or how many things we have prevented.
Right.
However, I can think off the top of my head 2 incidents where a citizen, a neighbor from the west end of the city, called us on a suspicious person. When we stopped the individual, we ran him through our computer system and our databases. He had 2 open warrants for manslaughter.
Wow.
And then a while later, a suspicious car at night, our officer stopped the car. One of the individuals had an open warrant for armed carjacking, convicted felon, and he had a stolen gun. So just by people calling us, we are limited in numbers. It's a realistic thing. We can't be everywhere every time. So the cooperation from the community and our neighbors is essential.
Of course.